I'm finally going to finish the guitar. Right, so if you've not watched the first video in the series, do that. That'll make a lot more sense. This guitar used to have that pickguard on it. Took that off, built this one, and stuck it on. And in the last video, I got everything done, but I tried the wiring, it didn't work. I couldn't figure out how to fix it. So I took it to a shop, town over there, and they fixed the wiring. It works now, and the guy also was very nice and cool and wrote this wiring diagram, tried to explain to me how it works. I still don't quite understand it. So what I'm going to do in this video is take this pickguard off and flip it over, look at the back, try to figure out what the wiring is and explain it to you if I can. Or I might not understand it, and I don't know what I'll do. But I've got the diagram, so it shouldn't be that hard. Then also, he switched out the tone knob because mine was 250K and it's a humbucker, so it really should have 500K. Not a big thing. He switched it out, and I don't love this knob a ton, so I bought a different one that's Fender, and also this one's backwards for some reason. Anyway, not a big thing. I'm just going to pop that out, pop this one out, stick that in, and then, yeah, that's kind of it. Mostly I've just got a little tiny piddly things to finish up with this, and then at the end of the video, I'll do a little performance and sort of show how the sound has changed and what all the different switch features do. So yeah, let's get into that. Right, so next I'm going to do is take off the strings, which is a lot harder this time because I can't find my string winder. Now I can take off the pickguard and get to all of the electronics. I also realized while editing this that I have a ton of video footage of me just undoing screws, just like unscrewing things. It's the same, and I'm very sorry for it, but I really don't want to have to keep editing this. Okay, I'm gonna need, oh yeah, I always forget all the other stuff it's attached to. Right, so I've got the input-output and the harmonic plate. There we go. Okay, even with the wiring diagram, this is really hard for me to figure out. So, yeah, I kind of understand it, but, like, definitely could not have just done this. So, yeah, good thinking, taking it to the shop. But, thank you, Boosie, for doing the wiring for me. And, yeah, now I'm gonna do the potentiometer, switch it out. It's gonna be a little tricky because like everything's grounded to it, so I'm gonna have to make sure I don't mess all the wires up. But yeah, do that, put everything back. There's those. That wire disconnected. Still kind of hot. Ouch. 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 Little fender. Very surprised if that transition worked. Alright, so I think I got that all wired in. All the grounds are grounded on the covering of the potentiometer. And the lugs over here, the ground lug is bended over and then soldered to the casing so that the whole cover is ground. That's why those are ground over there. And then these, one of these wires, the middle one, goes to the input output. And so those are your three harmonic plate ground, input output ground, and then just input output active wire and or lead. And then this is just the active wire for the switch. So all wired up. Hopefully now that's going the right direction. Then I've got to put the knob on and run those wires back in. And then we can just, screw everything back on. Lovely fit, Mr. Furs. I mean, Mr. Rosema. Lovely fit. Oh, oops, screw that on. I have this weird thing where I like to have my input output plug upside down. Normally on guitars it's like this, so you can plug your lead in there. But I like it this way because you can plug it in there and then run your cord around through your strap. Anyway, you will see when the guitar's all put together what I mean by this, but that's a little bit weird. I actually didn't know I was doing this until I talked to a guy at the guitar shop, and he's like, hey, by the way, your lead's upside down. So, anyway, you'll see when this is all put together. There's our ground. Here I go again with the screws. Right, so cover's back on. Ooh, all the stuff works. Or pickguard's back on. So now all I have to do is the strings. And my workbench is a complete mess again. So I also have to do that. Guitar strings. Gonna be a pain in the ass without the string winder. Frickety frickety. Ba-da. That is sad. Ooh. Alright, so let me demonstrate the different pickups. Who's gonna have this plugged into this mini bass amp because strangely enough it's kind of crappy and somehow like it doesn't have drives and stuff, so I can actually hear the change better. Like on my amp it's got like overdrive and stuff, and so you don't hear all the notes as much, but it does sound better. Anyway, so I'm gonna just demonstrate on this for the sake of demonstration, and then when I perform I'll use my big amp. Okay, so, and I should actually also make this a little bit lower. Right. Let's get used to this. I was on mute! Already a handy feature! That's terrible. Sounds dissonant and nasty, but you should be able to tell the difference. start on humbucker. Can you hear the pitch changes slightly? You might not actually, I'm filming on a phone, you might not be able to tell. Yeah, that's... Right, so we start here on, what's this? Series humbucker. We get next one, which is parallel humbucker. Should sound basically the same. It's really just the same thing. Okay, and then next is P90. I always say P-rail. I'm sorry. I mean P90. Okay, now that does sound a bit different. Like here. I feel like it's a bit more aggressive, which is also how it's supposed to sound. So. And then if we go to single, much more mellow, not as much output. That's probably the biggest difference, is that and this. Definitely hear, well, I can hear. I don't know if the phone's picking any of this up. I should probably get a better microphone setup or something. But yeah, okay, now I'll do the performance-y part. Right, so this concludes the very first multi-video project on the Owen Rosenman YouTube channel. It's also only my 4th video, so it's kind of a low bar. I wrote down what I was going to say, so I don't forget. Yeah, sorry for not explaining the electrics very well on the guitar. I had a little part where I filmed where like I talked about how it worked, but since I didn't know, it was very convoluted and I didn't end up including it. But basically there's the part that I don't understand is the switch. The signal comes in from the pickup and it runs through the switch, and then the switch just decides which of those two, the P90 or the single coil on that little humbucker setup, it decides which one is going to get sent into the amp. And it's complicated. There's like weird jumpers and things are grounded and I don't understand it. The part I do understand is after it goes through that, it runs through the potentiometer and it goes out into the input-output jack. I can get that. So I was able to pretty confidently take that apart and put it back together, but I really didn't want to try to dig too deeply into messing around with the switch because, you know, if I break it, there's no guarantee I know how to fix it, and then I have to like take it back to the shop and be like, hey, you fixed it and I just broke it again, so can you fix it? And I'd have to pay a bunch more money. So I don't want to do that. But yeah, the other thing I was going to say is at one point I showed that my input-output is upside down, and I said I was going to explain it, and I didn't ever explain it, so I'm going to do that now. This is the normal guitar. Its input-output is here, and when you plug it in, it goes right like that, which is great, but if you step on the cord or someone else steps on the cord, it can get pulled out. That's bad. It makes a nasty noise, and your amp makes this weird sound, and it's crappy, and Anyway, it's not good. And then on my guitar, it goes like this. This thing is upside down, so it plugs in from the top. I use this little L-clip thing, and then I run it through the strap. So it's very nice and neat, and if someone steps on it, it's not going to come out. So yeah, that's that. I think that concludes this video. And yeah, thanks for watching. And oh, what's that terrible music? I'm sorry you had to watch that.